The procurement of the first batch of littoral combat ships has been reduced from 6 to 5 vessels after the application to continue the project was discussed again by the government, according to Navy Chief Admiral Datuk Abdul Rahman Ayob. He said that the decision was made some time ago when the government decided to continue the LCS project, Bernama reports. He told reporters this after delivering his maiden speech after his appointment as the 18th Royal Malaysian Navy Chief at Wisma Pertahanan on Monday. Abdul Rahman said the 6th supplementary agreement on the LCS project would be signed soon to enable the following process to take place and the construction to be carried out as planned. He adds that the hope is to get the vessels according to schedule because the organisation lacks high-capacity assets like the LCS. In the meantime, Abdul Rahman said the procurement of the second batch of littoral mission ships would be realised in safeguarding the security and sovereignty of the country's waters. He says the target is for the application to be approved this year to enable them to carry out the procurement process, with every vessel taking at least 3 years to complete. Sunway REIT's net property income for the fourth quarter of FY22 rose 18.8% year-on-year to 146.19 million due to higher revenue and reversal of doubtful debts resulting from improved rental collection in the retail segment. Revenue for the quarter likewise increased by 18.34% to 186.7 million compared with last year's 157.8 million ringgit. It declared a final income distribution per unit of 5 cent amounting to 171.2 million ringgit. This brings full-year DPU to 9.22 cent. NPI for FY22 jumped 54.9% year-on-year to 500.24 million as revenue rose 37.9% to 651.5 million from the 472.35 million posted in FY21. Sunway REIT is keeping a positive outlook for FY23, underpinned by stable domestic economic growth, sustained growth momentum for the retail segment, further recovery in the hotel segment, as well as full-year income contribution from the New Wing and Sunway Resort Hotel, according to Datuk Jeffrey Ng, Chief Executive Officer of Sunway REIT Management. Sunway REIT Management is the manager for Sunway REIT. With inflation remaining a concern, Ng says the group strives to negate the impact of higher interest costs through dynamic capital management strategy and is aiming to achieve higher NPI from existing assets portfolio and or new acquisitions. He adds that Sunway REIT is actively pursuing acquisition opportunities and the group aims to make headway on this front. Ng says that the Sunway REIT's healthy gearing of 37.6% and debt headroom of approximately 1.2 billion will enable it to fund yield accretive acquisitions. YTL Power International's wholly owned subsidiary in Singapore is collaborating with the Naga Nationals unit to supply 100 megawatts of electricity from Malaysia to Singapore via the newly upgraded interconnector. YTL Power said this agreement marks the first time electricity from Malaysia will be supplied to Singapore on a commercial basis, adhering to the Energy Commission's guide for cross-border electricity sales. It said the CBES guide, which was released in December 2020 and revised in October 2021, was developed to facilitate cross-border electricity between Malaysia and a neighbouring country towards the vision of the ASEAN power grid. YTL Power Seraya was awarded the electricity importer licence for Malaysia for a 2-year trial by the Energy Market Authority of Singapore after a competitive request for the proposal process in October 2021. The group said in a statement that YTL Power Seraya will purchase the electricity from TNB Pasir Gudang Energy, a wholly owned special vehicle company under TNB Power Generation. The collaboration was made official at an exchange of documents ceremony for the cross-border electricity purchase agreement and witnessed by Singapore's Minister for Manpower and Second Minister for Trade and Industry, Dr. Tan See Leng, and International Trade and Industry Minister Tengku Datuk Sri Zafrul Abdul Aziz. YTL Power Seraya CEO John Ng said the group is honoured to work with TNB to contribute in diversifying Singapore's energy sources and further enhancing the nation's energy security. TNB Genco MD Datuk Nur Azman Mufti said that this will mark its maiden foray into the Singapore market and hopes that it will become a catalyst to capture future projects in the country. Serba Dinamik Holdings has filed a motion for a stay of the winding up petition order granted by the High Court on January 10th, pending its appeal to the Court of Appeal. Similar applications were filed by its 3 subsidiaries. Hearing of the stay of applications has been fixed for February 3rd. In an affidavit filed in support of the motion for stay cited by The Edge, Serba Dinamik and its subsidiaries said the winding up orders should be deferred, pending the disposal of the appeals to the Court of Appeal and the appeal against their application to seek an adjournment to the winding up hearing. They said if the stay of the winding up order was not granted, the 4 companies would suffer irreparable damage, which would see their contracts being terminated upon the winding up, and this they claimed were irrecoverable. To recap, on January 10th, Judge Abdul Murad Abdul Aziz allowed the applications by 6 financial institutions and some of Serba Dinamik's creditors to wind up the 4 companies. The applications by Standard Chartered Sadiq, HSBC Amanah Malaysia, AmBank Islamic, MIDF Amanah Investment Bank, United Overseas Bank Malaysia and Bank Islam Malaysia were over the non-payment of loans amounting to 1.7 billion ringgit out of a total sum of some 5 billion ringgit owed. The Singapore International Arbitration Centre has ordered the Brunei Economic Development Board to pay TRC Synergy's unit 18.67 million Brunei dollars or 60.18 million ringgit over a dispute related to a contract to modernise the Brunei International Airport Terminal. In a BOS filing, the construction and property outfit said BEDB is to pay the company's wholly owned subsidiary Trans Resources Corp the sum within 14 days from January 16, 2023, the date of the tribunal's order. BEDB is ordered to pay TRC Corp a sum of 13 million Brunei dollars with 5.33% annual interest from October 23, 2017 and 3.34 million Brunei dollars with 5.33% annual interest from May 23, 2018. Meanwhile, the order listed another 2.25 million Brunei dollars to be paid as legal and other costs to TRC Corp and 75,240 Brunei dollars for the unit's arbitration costs. TRC Corp commenced arbitration proceedings against BEDB over the dispute pertaining to the airport terminal works contract back in January 2020. According to a filing dated January 29, 2020, TRC Corp claimed for payments of amounts wrongfully deducted by BEDB from sums due to TRC under the contract and compensation for losses suffered by TRC as a result of certain acts and or omissions of BEDB. Meanwhile, TRC Synergy said BEDB did not have any counterclaims against TRC Corp in the arbitration proceedings.